Couch Co-op. Couch Co-op. Couch Co-op.
Hello, Couch Co-opers, Couch Potatoes, Couch Co-dependents. This is the Couch Co-op Show, and I'm Ian, and this evening, I got Quentin back. I got Quentin. He's back.
Hey.
Jared didn't give a reason. I guess he's tired. Actually, Jared said he didn't play anything at all, so he was like, unless we're going to talk about something topical, I'll just, Anyway, please do me a favor and, find us on all the places, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, at Couch Co-op Shows, all one word, no hyphen. You can find our podcast where podcasts are sold.
Man, are they sold? Are they really sold?
No, that's just a funny turn of phrase I'm using to make the audience laugh. It's like, Ian, they're not. They don't cost money. You're so funny.
Well, I mean, there are some podcasts out there that do bonus episodes.
Oh yeah,
that you can pay for.
Or if we were like super big, you could do the Patreon thing where the Patreon members get the episode early, and then like a week later the episode goes free. So there's that kind of thing. But you know what? We're against money here at Couch Co-op. We're not going to sell out. We do it because we enjoy it and because it should be free.
Mm-hmm.
But if you would like to buy me video games and send them to me, DM me at... So... I did want to talk about a little something. I don't know if you read about this article that I posted earlier this week on the Discord.
Was it the... Let me look. It was in the main chat, right?
Yeah, it was the Star Wars one.
Yeah.
I
saw a little bit about that, yeah.
So I don't know, do you know much about... So there's Quantic Dream is doing this Star Wars game, the Star Wars Eclipse game. Yeah. Do you know much about the history behind Quantic Dream?
In my head, Quantic Dream is mixed up with David Cage.
Yes, and David Cage is the CEO.
Oh, wait, is that?
Yeah, David Cage is the CEO and like kind of lead designer of that studio. He created that studio. That's his studio. Okay. David Cage is a very toxic individual.
I think we've known this for years.
Right? He's lost suits for bullying, and he has said some pretty awful fucking things.
Yeah.
I also don't really care for his games because I'm not into QuickTime event games. That's not my thing. But
I personally, not to offend anyone who's played a David Cage game, but I think the writing is not.
Oh yeah, it's pretty off.
That good.
I haven't made it through one. I've kind of tried. I tried Beyond Two Souls. I think that's the only one I've ever tried. But it's just so heavy-handed and it's just like not. It's like It's not the greatest writing. Anyway, they look really good, I guess. I mean, visually, from a visual standpoint, they really work really hard. Mm-hmm. But anyway, he's a kind of a toxic individual. He's said some awful things. And so the Star Wars announcement was announced, and a bunch of Star Wars fans are taking to the internet trying to get Lucasfilm and Disney, basically, to, see if they can get someone else to make the game. So they've started this hashtag on Twitter, #blackout Star Wars Eclipse, until Lucasfilm changes the developer. Mm-hmm. Do you think that'll happen?
It honestly depends on LucasArts. I know LucasArts is an incredibly they've made some games that I really like, mainly their older point and clicks, like your Sam and Maxes and stuff like that.
Right.
But I've always known them to be like a very responsive studio in terms of like their fans and stuff like that. So I assume if they don't fire Quantic Dream, they'll fire David Cage,
Maybe.
or they'll
Yeah.
just give it to BioWare.
It's an interesting thing because like obviously this all the things that Star Wars kind of represents, David Cage doesn't really represent. He's kind of an awful person, and
Yeah.
it's just kind of this like thing. I mean, video games lately. I mean, obviously all the stuff with Blizzard, Activision, all that. It's just like you think one studio, like it happened with Riot, and they had all their
Right, yeah.
walkouts and stuff,
Mhm.
and then they had to do a lot of change and everything, and I feel like maybe they've turned around a bit, and you would think that other studios would look at that and be like, man, we need to get our shit together, and then every day it's like another fucking story, and then the one with Blizzard Activision just got
Yeah.
worse and worse and worse, and it's just like,
That's the one that freaks me out. How big it is. It's
right,
just. Ugh.
it's like, and then the guy at the very top has known all along and just doesn't give a shit. And are they going to get rid of him? Nah. They make too much money. Why would they get rid of that guy? It's just like, it's gross.
Yeah.
So, all I can do is not play their games. So that's kind of what I do. But I was curious what you thought about that kind of stuff. Do you still play like Blizzard games at this point, or Activision games? Or?
Since I switched to Linux, I have not had BattleNet on my system. I had Hearthstone on my phone for a little bit, and that's it. And I found other replacements for it. There's Shadowverse, there's Vanguard Zero, there's plenty of TCGs that are on Magic Arena now.
Right.
Stuff like that.
And it sucks. I understand. There's like great people that work at these companies, but like it's not like these companies are poor. They have money.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like it's a struggling. They can pay people. It's not. I just feel like, oh well, if you don't buy our games, we're gonna have to. Well, no, you don't. You just cut off the top guy and let that money trickle down to the rest of the people. Like it seems so, but that's just not how corporations are ran, I guess.
Yeah, no, sadly, it's a weird thing. I think AAA is such a weird thing because I think after all that stuff came out, I specifically looked into unionization in the games industry. And did you know, like, out of all the AAA studios, there's only one? It's DICE.
Oh, really? Well, that's because
DICE is unionized.
But that's because they're not in the United States. They're.
No.
I feel like there's isn't there aren't there some other ones in overseas? I thought there were some other ones I could be wrong, but I know there's not.
I'd have to look it up. I know. I remember specifically DICE having a union.
Because DICE is like what, Swedish or
yes,
Finnish or something.
Swedish.
So but yeah, a lot of these American studios are just kind of fucked. But one of them was trying to raise money to unionize. I forget which one now. Recently, they were doing. Oh man, I should have looked into that. I wasn't. But yeah, it sucks, and I feel bad for the people. I mean, they have a good job at a company that made some great games. It just sucks that their leadership is letting them down, and I wish.
Yeah.
They could find a way to get them out, and the only way I can help is by not buying their shit. But
and speaking out.
Yeah. So I have nothing against the people the good people that work at these companies. I just there's nothing else I can do to help them except not help that company's bottom line. So
yeah.
So I just wanted to talk about that a little bit. I thought that was interesting though. I mean, yeah, I hope Lucasfilm or Disney, Team Star Wars takes a look at what's going on and makes the right decision. We haven't heard anything about it, so I don't know. It might be one of those things that just kind of gets swept under the rug.
I feel like it's either going to be swept under the rug or media blackout until something happens.
Yeah. So yeah, let's this was the weekend. Free PS Plus multiplayer. Lots of betas dropped, as you said.
Lots of betas.
You want to start off? You want to kick off with that?
Sure. I'm a big fighting game guy.
Yep.
This weekend, the betas for DNF Duel and KOF 15's second open beta test both released. I have been on DNF for a while now. It's a really fun game. It's, I think, Arc Syst's best licensed game since Hokuto no Ken. Fist of the North Star.
Oh, gotcha. Why don't you just lead with that?
I don't know. The whole community and the people who play it call it HNK, which is
I
Hokuto
got you.
no Ken. Yeah.
I have a question about DNF. That was something else. That's like
Yes.
a different. So what is that? What is?
It is a Korean MMO called Dungeon Fighter Online, and I also play that. It's a fun game. It's like a beat 'em up, but an MMO.
Okay. Interesting. Okay.
And all the characters that are in this game are classes from Dungeon Fighter Online.
Gotcha. Cool. And it's 2D. Just
2D.
2D. I did install it. I did log in. I don't like the way you get to play online matches. I think it's cute the way you get to do it. But
Arcades.
Yeah, where you kind of go into your own little created room lobby, and then you sit there at an arcade, and you kind of ask someone to play with you, and then I mean, not really, but you go next. I don't know. I just kind of, it's like, I wish there was like just a slight offline mode so I could like at least kind of figure shit out.
Okay, so this is specifically to test the rollback
No, I
mode
get
in the servers.
I realize
but
that.
When they are repairing or the servers went down for maintenance, it's a free CPU battle.
Oh, is it?
You don't get to choose your character.
Oh.
So you get a random character and you fight against a random CPU and you just go at it. And that was how it was during the first like 5 hours of the game, because they were like, okay, here's DNF Duel. Let's have fun. There are too many people playing.
So what do you like about the game? Like just aside from the license,
The visuals and the license.
Yeah, what about the fighting game? Do you like about it?
It's that, so it's not developed fully by Arc System Works. The company behind the gameplay is Aiding, and I don't know if you know Aiding as a company, but they did games like Bloody Roar.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know if you know Bloody Roar, but
I know Bloody Roar very well.
Tatsunoko versus Capcom.
I have Bloody Roar, I think. Anyway.
And they also did Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3.
Yeah.
They did the gameplay for that.
Cool.
And they are a studio that I trust, because even their bad games are games I enjoy.
Gotcha.
And this game is basically another one of those basic get into fighting games for people who don't know how to play them. But Aiding has added certain mechanics from other fighting games that are in DNF Duel that work like their other games. Like there's a mechanic called Conversion, which is just Baroque from Tatsunoko vs. Capcom.
Gotcha.
And it's got simple inputs, and it's only a 5-button game. 6 buttons, actually. You've got A, B, skill, special skill, or MP skill, guard, and ascension skill, I think is what they call it. And that's your super. But
now,
it's super simple.
Yeah,
really
yeah.
Fun.
Do you think this is just going to be just a fun game that people play, or do you see this being like a actual fighting game community, like a tournament type game? Or
I see it building a community. Grand Blue, I don't know if you've seen Grand Blue Fantasy Versus. That was a fighting game, licensed fighting game, similar to Dragon Ball, where they released it and it was based on a license. Grand Blue Fantasy Versus being based off of Grand Blue Fantasy, which is a mobile game. That game has had 4 seasons of content and is still going strong with its player base.
Cool.
So I can see this game lasting 4 to 5 years at least.
Do you think it'll be bigger back like in Korea? Is this Korean, you say? Was it a Korean?
The game is Korean, yes.
Do you think is it a bigger franchise over there then?
Neopol is... DFO has been a very big MMO since its release in Korea, and it's still going strong. And it's been going on since like 2004 or something like that. It's really old.
So this fighting game will probably be bigger over there than over here.
Depends. A lot of my friends that play fighting games have played it. The Twitter is Japanese.
Oh, interesting.
The Facebook is English.
just trying to cover everything.
And then during this open beta, they have released tweets that are in Japanese, English, and Korean. And when they showed it off on the PlayStation Store and how to download it, it was Korean. So, yeah, it's not on the store actually. You can't grab it on the PS Store because I think Sony just worked too slow to get it on the store. So you have to download it through the app.
Oh no! Oh, it's on the PS5. When I downloaded it on my PS5, it's on the PS5 store for sure.
It's not on the PS4 store, as far as I know.
Oh, okay. I didn't look there because I have a PS5.
But yeah, no. I think it looks great. It's simple yet mechanically deep. Every character plays differently, and I love that. The reason I mention that is because a lot of ArcSys games on release have a lot of characters that play the same, except for maybe a few. Like for Dragon Ball, when that first released, it was like Piccolo and Yamcha. Those are the only characters that played differently.
Dude, Dragon Ball Fighters, man, that. It's
that
like
what is
it's crazy and fun and looks cool, but it's like every guy does the same fucking thing, and I'm just like, bleh.
Not anymore. The game is definitely diversified with more characters coming in. So
well, I didn't pay for the more characters. I just got the cheap version. Come on, I got the $9.99 version.
I understand.
I'm gonna test this out, see if I like it. And then, it's fun for a while until you get like, ugh. Anyway. That definitely has the same kind of like lobby-ish thing going on, even though it's not the rooms. It's got that big lobby overworld that everyone's kind of running around in, and then you kind of go to different areas.
On the topic of lobbies, this is way better than the Guilty Gear Strive lobbies.
Oh, really?
Which are basically 2D. They are 2D and they're like platformers, so you can jump from floors and stuff like that. And you still go to, instead of arcade machines, you take out a sword and someone has to walk up to you and take out their own sword and then you fight.
Oh.
But
show me your cock, man.
It was really unresponsive. And I personally thought it would have been better if it was just like a text-based GUI lobby, where it's just like a bunch of text that says who's in the lobby, who's playing, and when you can play. That would have been just so much easier than how they did it.
I like the way the other games like Street Fighter kind of does it, or like Dead or Alive, where like you can just play around in a normal match, and then when someone's like looking for you, like in the meantime.
You can do that now. You just have to, not in the betas.
Oh, okay. I just like the not having to hang out in this fucking room and watch people fight. That's not my thing. I don't really dig that.
You can do arcade mode and matchmaking and training mode and matchmaking.
Yeah, I prefer that than see, like Soul Calibur doesn't have that. Soul Calibur, you go into a fucking room and you hang out, and it's like you just wait and watch
really
the fight. And I'm just
slow.
like, because those games kind of, depending on how they have them set up, it's just like, oh, I want to be doing something else.
Not waiting, not watching.
I mean, I like watching fighting games. Like I enjoy watching Evo and stuff, but like just people I don't know, or really, there's no real story there.
Yeah.
Or like Mortal Kombat's the worst, though it's not that bad. But like the chat is just like on, and I just like have to listen to them. Anyway, it's obnoxious.
Yeah. I've
Anyway,
watched some of those events, so I don't blame you.
and then the other beta was King of Fighters.
Yeah, King of Fighters had its second beta where
You actually got to play online yourself.
They finally fixed the issue by just putting it on a weekend where PS Plus was free. But different characters this time than the last beta.
I didn't play it this time.
Characters like Isla and Cronin are in there. My boys Terry and Rio are in there. K-Dash, all the old characters I used to play are there, so I've been doing that. Netcode is great. I played a friend who was on Wi-Fi, and Wi-Fi is really bad with delay-based netcode, and this worked like it was offline.
Cool.
It's really nice.
Are you more excited for that game than the DNF, or?
I think after playing DNF, I'm more excited to play DNF because it's a new thing, but I know that KOF 15 is going to like be something I will enjoy for a long time.
Right. Are these things you're gonna get right away, or as soon as you can? Like, would these be considered like day one purchases if you had the money?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. I was just curious what games you buy and then games like you like wait on.
I buy a lot of RPGs and fighting games day one.
And then
I try
everything
to.
else you're just kind of like, oh wait. Let's
I'll
see.
wait. I'll wait a bit. Like I'm still waiting on Final Fantasy 14 Endwalker,
Okay.
which has had notoriously bad server issues.
Oh yeah, they had to suspend. They had to suspend all those free newbies.
All the free players, yeah. If you don't log in before 10 a.m., you're going to be waiting in queue for 5 hours.
Yeah, I hear it's pretty awful.
Mm-hmm.
But that's cool. That's a cool problem to have, really, for a MMO.
Yeah.
Really, these days. Okay. Well, I didn't play the KOF this time, so I didn't get to play the new characters. Those are like probably the newest. I've only played old things, so.
Besides that, I played a bunch of old stuff too. So.
I did because a long time ago. You may not know this, but I was a. What do they call that? Where you? Let me see if I have my box somewhere. I think it's somewhere.
If you're not looking at the video.
Oh, this is riveting.
It's much more entertaining if you're gonna watch it on YouTube. For the video people, he's just trying to grab something.
I don't know where it is. Anyway, I have my founder edition Stadia
Oh wow. Okay.
because I was a founder,
Okay.
and then I paid for that service for a few months, and then I found that I wasn't using it.
Mm-hmm.
I also had internet that wasn't unlimited at the time, so I was cautious because I had a data cap.
Mm-hmm.
So streaming video games to you eats up a lot of data. So I canceled, and then I haven't really messed with Stadia. But for Christmas this year, they gave me a free month.
Oh wow.
So
That's nice.
I got to go back in and claim all my free games to my library, and I've been fucking around with that. So I played. What did I play now? Now I'm trying to remember what I fucking. Oh, you know what I didn't? Okay, so they did this. I've never played this game. They did a remaster a couple years ago. Panzer Dragoon.
Oh, Panzer. Yeah, the ones. They're also making a House of the Dead remake.
So I had
Those
never
guys.
played this game, this Sega Saturn classic. What a trash fire that game is. No, it's fine. It's just like what. I don't. It's just kind of stupid. I don't know.
It's a classic shoot 'em up. What do you mean?
Oh, it's stupid. I mean, it's all right. I was like kind of enthralled with it, but there's no way. You don't really save your game. You have to go all the way through. If you quit, you lose all
it's
your.
like an arcade game. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like fuck that, dude. I want to like play an episode and then like save it and come back later. And man, I'm so spoiled by today's luxuries. You know, it's like, but. The graphics looks okay. You fly around. The shooting's kind of weird. I don't know. Bizarre game. What a bizarre game. I thought I'd play it because people talk about it kind of fondly, I guess.
Yeah.
And I don't know if the remaster or the remake was very well received.
I haven't seen a lot about the remake, but I have somewhat faith in this studio because they're doing really well with what they've been showing for that House of the Dead thing.
Okay.
They're like remaking, I think, the first game fully for PC and other things.
So I mean, I don't know. Maybe if you're nostalgic for it, it's cool. But for me, it was just like,
Good?
yeah, it looks fine. I mean, it doesn't blow your pants off. It's just like, oh, it looks like a nicer version. I don't know. I don't know what it looks like because I've never really. There's not been a lot of dragon shooting games where you fly around. It's basically like Ace Combat, but you're a dragon. I don't know.
I would say Ace Combat like a dragon is more like Dragon Guard. If you play Dragon Guard.
No. What? Because Dragon Guard, you're not always flying.
You're not always flying, but the flying segments are like an airplane.
I guess. Well, this is like an airplane.
Yeah, but it's an auto scroller. It's more like your Star Foxes.
Yeah, it's kind of yes. Okay, it's like Star Fox ish. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, it's weird, but you do kind of. It's. I don't understand like where you can turn him, but then to change the camera direction, you have to hit the button to shift the look. It's fucking up. So when you're fighting a boss and it's doing these like weird pre kind of flying patterns your character goes on, you need to like start tank moding your fucking character so you can see where you're shooting at. I don't know, I think it's dumb. Like, games have come so far. You think if you were going to actually remake the game, you would fix all that. Like, it would just be more, but I guess they didn't really want to fuck with the engine. They just wanted to make it look prettier. So,
I think it's actually done on a whole new thing.
Well, it doesn't feel like
the rebuild from the ground up.
Well, I don't know what the old one feels like, but it feels like, couldn't you have done something better than this? I don't know. I don't know. It's also funny too because I'm guessing. So on the Stadia controller, it's like most regular controllers. There's 4 buttons. 2 of them are fire, just your regular fire mode, and the other 2 are you'll tank one direction or you'll tank the other direction. So if your character you can control your character, but when the pre-flight pattern starts shifting you this way, like you're going this way in the game, and then it shifts you this way, like let's say, in a different axis, you need to like turn so you're like facing the right direction, and then you can kind of turn your head a little bit.
Okay.
So it's that's obnoxious to have to deal with, I think. But the cool thing is like you can just like double, instead of having to fastly tap one button to fire, you can do the zzz.
Oh, okay.
So you like fire like crazy fast. So that's nice. It's like you have turbo. But I don't know why we're talking about this game so much. It was just like I've never tried.
It's a classic. It's Panzer Dragoon.
Hey, played a level, beat the first boss. Thought that's good enough for me. I don't need to ever play this again. Then I played this other stupid game called Wave Break. Have you heard of this?
No.
This is like 2 cool bears in ski boats. So like these like little cartoon guys in ski boats do Tony Hawk tricks. So you're like in a speedboat, and then you go up ramps, and you do kick flips, and you do rail slides.
On a boat?
On a little ski boat. So it's like a big head character on a ski boat. It's like cutesy, kind of Miami Vice looking.
Oh.
And then you can
jet ski
No, it's like a ski boat.
Or a boat.
It's like a ski boat. It's not a jet ski. Yeah, it's and then you have a gun, so you can also shoot things.
What the?
Yeah, so but then you're doing like combos and you're catching, you're just like Tony Hawk. You're getting all the letters, and it looks like Miami Vice, cool neon, and these cool bears with glasses on. That was kind of fun, but the controllers are nowhere near as good as like a Tony Hawk game. But it was kind of goofy. So if you're looking for like a goofy Tony Hawk game, Wave Break. I mean, I was never really super good at those games, so. But it was funny. It's like, oh, what is this? I was hoping it was just bears in boats shooting things. I was not expecting all of a sudden to have to Tony Hawk the entire. Like I literally thought it was gonna be like a shoot 'em up kind of.
Yeah. Kind
of like Panzer Dragoon, really, but with bears and boats. And I was like, oh, this will be better. I'll just like. And there were 2 bears, so I thought, well, maybe you could co-op shoot, because Stadia is weird. It doesn't really give you any kind of breakdown of what the game is. There's no like trailer or anything. When you select it, it just kind of sits there. You have to actually start it to see anything. So it's just kind of like, okay, well, what is this game? So I was hoping for like, cruise around, shoot things, and it'd be fun. Nope. Tony Hawk. It's like, serious? I was just like, well, that's weird. That's a weird choice.
Would you say it's more like Tony Hawk or more like Wave Race?
No, it's like literally like little enclosed area where you're on half pipes and rails. You're collecting money. You're doing combos.
What the hell?
You should I'm pretty sure it's called Wave Break. You should look for a trailer. I'm serious. I shit you not. I'm pretty sure it's called Wave Break.
I'm looking it up right now.
Wave Break. Right? Yeah, that's it. Yeah. See, a cute little bear with a gun. He's in a jet boat.
Wow, look at that.
You should
Oh,
watch
it's
it.
got the little that logo's nice too.
Isn't that cool? That's exactly. It's like, oh, but I thought that's what it was gonna be.
Oh, okay. I thought they were like. I thought when you said boat, I was thinking like a Rolling Thunder, like giant boat.
No, it's like a speedboat.
No, it's like a speedboat.
Sorry. No, so but like when I saw that logo and that kind of title, I was like, oh, I'm gonna be a little fuzzy bear shooting shit on a boat. Cool. Not exactly.
Oh wait, you can. Okay, I've seen some of the gifs and some of the trailer, and it looks really interesting. Honestly, like
It's not
sort
bad.
of like
It's just different. It's just like not what I was
Yeah.
expecting.
where you can like surf on the ground and the air.
Oh yeah.
Sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. It's interesting.
It looks cool.
But like, you're a bear that can kickflip a speedboat. So there you go.
A bear, an alligator.
You
an
know what?
otter.
You know what? I forgot that I did play a new game.
Oh really?
I'm in the close. I don't know how long this closed beta lasts, but I'm in the closed beta for Super People, the new PUBG clone. Yeah. Super People. And you create a hot, sexy character, and you go into a world, and you PUBG basically. It's basically PUBG with like superpowers.
Okay.
Your characters can get these pills, and then these pills will give depending on which ones you use, will give you special tactical powers.
Okay.
It's kind of fun.
So it's a battle royale.
Oh yeah, it's battle royale, 100%.
Okay.
It's like the new PUBG. It runs pretty well.
It's the
I
second
don't know.
battle royale on the podcast in a month.
I don't know. Battle royales are battle royales. Sometimes I
Yeah.
like them, sometimes I don't. This one, the character models are kind of hot. It's kind of fun to run around and do the powers and.
So is the powers are what make it unique, sort of like
Yeah. Like you can you can get this one yellow, like in the tutorial that I haven't got it out in the world, but there's the yellow pill that gives you basically a tactical nuke, and you can destroy like multiple people with it. Like it just launches and just there's this massive nuke explosion in the world.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, there's some it's different.
That reminds me of like First Soldier when I played that. It's like it's got levels, it's got magic, it's got materia summoning. Like,
And then the crafting thing's really cool. So, instead of trying to find, let's say, like a purple weapon, you can find materials and then craft a purple legendary weapons in the field. You have a little crafting kit, so you get materials like in Fortnite, basically. But then you can run around and then craft yourself. You don't have to go to a crafting place. You just do it yourself.
Yeah.
And then you can craft, armor and weapons, and so that's kind of cool. I mean, it has, it's the same type of game, but it's adding all this other kind of colorful, cool stuff. I think it looks more inviting than PUBG. So I mean, I don't know how long that beta is. I don't know.
the crafting thing has me interested. Like I like not having to like rely on luck.
Right.
The one thing about First Soldier that I did like is that if you shot and killed people or you shot and killed monsters, you'd level up your gun and that would increase its rarity. And
But,
you level up your character and you get more health and armor.
But other than that, like the whole looting system is pretty PUBG. Like, you find guns, attachments, armor, different level, level 1, 2, and 3 type shit. It's that kind of same. And then it just adds this other layer of crafting or goofy special powers. You have, unlike PUBG, the characters. Okay, here's another interesting thing. So the characters, you design a character, but then there's different classes.
Okay.
There's like a stealth, and there's like so each class has different special powers, basically.
Okay.
But at the beginning of each game, you pay like 100 gold for a random roll on your class.
Okay.
Or you spend 500
You get the class you want.
on the one you want. So then you're in the game, and then you collect, obviously, depending on how well you do, and collect points to get more gold so you can play that again. I'm guessing. And I think they refresh you. Well, in the beta, I feel like they just refresh you. So I don't know how it's going to really work in the real game. It could change. I don't know. Who knows? But
I hope that's not like an in-game transaction sort of thing.
yeah, it's these free-to-play games. They got to find some way to it'll probably end up being one of those things like you'll have just like 100 to do a random at a certain point. That's all you can afford to do. But
Oh,
the
hey,
people,
here, buy some gold.
yeah, but all the good players or all the people that spend money will just always pick the certain class every time.
Mhm.
And then they'll spam that character's special that they find is the best. You know what I mean? I'm sure there's all these kind of ways that they'll find a way to fuck with the game, or probably already are, because I only played a few matches. You know, Battle Royale is kind of not really my thing, so
Yeah, they lose. For me personally, they lose their luster quite quickly. It's like I can play like 5 or 6 games, but if I don't have someone with me, it just loses its touch.
yeah, it's one of those things where like it's more fun to just like hang out and drink beer and bullshit while you're playing it, because it's kind of
Hmm.
it is what it is. I
But I
don't
mean,
understand
you've
how
got
these.
better games for drinking and bullshitting, like Rocket League.
It's
So
true. It's kind of the same thing, but it's like one of those things. Like I can't like how do these fucking streamers play the same thing like PUBG or Warzone day after day after day? Like I get people,
I don't know.
but man, that would drive me nuts. Like I would lose. It's like
Yeah.
this. I would hate. You know. Ugh. Good on them for that. Anyway. So that was the one real new
The one
game I
new thing,
played.
okay.
Aside from the little bit of DNF I tried, but
Okay. What'd you think of DNF?
I mean, it's it's 2D fighting game. It's fine. I don't know. It's fine. I like. Now you would probably know this more than are the characters that they had in that game. Is that all there's gonna be?
No.
So how many characters are gonna be in that game?
They haven't revealed all the characters.
Okay. And say
But
verse.
I'd assume since it's a normal roster, they'd reveal maybe 5 to 10 more characters, and then they'll release the game, and it'll be like a 20 character roster because this is 10 characters in this beta.
Right. And then, but like something like King of Fighters, who's known to have like fuck ton of characters. What is like? Do you know how much is that game?
This game right here ended on like 52.
Yeah, I know. So how many? How many is this KOF launching with? Do you know?
39.
Jesus Christ.
Well, it's a 3-on-3 game as well.
That's
So
true.
You get characters on your team. You pick 3 of them.
Right. I
Yeah.
get that.
So.
Has King of Fighters always been like that? No.
Depends on the game in the series, but most of the games are 3-on-3.
Okay.
There have been some games like 2000 and the Striker Saga series system where you picked 2 characters or you picked like 3 or 4 characters and
But weren't like some like the older ones like on PS2 and shit? Weren't those just like single fighter games?
no. Unless you're talking about Mira, the 3D ones.
No.
No?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
I don't know.
Because most of them are 3-on-3.
Okay. Then I'm just stupid. For some reason, I thought there was some where you were just only one character.
You do have single player versus modes where you can play just one character versus one character.
Oh, well, maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
Mm.
So we don't have to deal with all that extra weirdness.
Well, the extra weirdness is what makes KOF fun.
Sometimes.
Changes how
Sometimes it's
meters
just too.
and that works.
Sometimes it's just too crazy, and you're like, it's simple fights.
I feel you there.
Well, I'm not a big KOF guy, so I don't know that series that well. All right, what else you been playing?
Okay, I've got 3 games on my docket.
3. Oh yeah, that one.
Metroid Dread. I know you're not a big fan, and I know you quit only 30 minutes in, but I went to a friend's house last week, and
Might have been 12
he wanted
minutes
to-
in.
He wanted to see me play Dread, and I
Alright.
played about an hour and a half, and I went, okay, I'm good. And then at the end of it, I was like, hey, can I borrow it? And so I borrowed it, and now I've spent, I think, like 11 hours on it already. It's pretty good so far. I like it.
All right. Cool. You said it would. Well, no. Earlier today, you were saying like what, second best?
I don't think it's better than Super Metroid in terms of 2D Metroid. I think Super Metroid has some of the best level design in the whole series. And it is the best level design in the series, but I love the movement and dread more than Super Metroid.
Okay.
And since movement and traversal is like 70% of the game, if it feels good to run, jump, and shoot, it's going to just feel better in general. I do have some control issues with it. I wish there were remappable controls. There's just one control scheme and you can't change it.
Right.
I don't like how aiming is a stance and locks you in place, where you have to hold L. I would rather have L be shoot and my right stick be aim.
Right.
So I can, like a twin stick shooter, I can aim where I want and move when I want, but we can't always get what we want.
They gotta gamify it a little bit for you, buddy.
Yeah.
You can't just run around willy-nilly. Come on. Don't make it too easy.
I mean, it's already pretty easy in terms of like
I just didn't like
the
it.
combat.
And the story's garbage. I mean, anyway.
I mean, it's a Metroid story. It's simple. They're very simple games meant on. I think the game has great environments, and that's what like Metroid is for, is like sort of environments and stuff like that.
I don't know. I didn't make it far enough. It just doesn't grab me. I was just like, I just don't like these games.
Yeah.
I just don't like any Nintendo properties. They're just, Nintendo makes has shitty licensed properties.
I think Zelda's pretty good.
It's awful. That's
Zelda.
one of the worst.
Really?
Yeah.
If you had to put Nintendo properties on a list, what would be the top worst one, and what would be like the best one?
The top worst one is Mario by far.
Okay.
It's one game that uses the same formula for its entire lifespan. It's like
What about 3D Mario?
It's the same thing. It's just awful. It's just awful. Like,
You're not a fan of platformers either?
no, I love platformers. I mean, no, I don't really love platformers. That's a lot. I mean, platformers are fine. I mean, I like platformers like Ratchet and Clank or Jak and Daxter, but
like Jak and Daxter 1?
Yeah, like Jak and Daxter 1.
Okay.
I mean, I realize that kind of really moved away from platforming. It rest of its games.
Sandbox game, yeah.
But I don't like Mario as a character. I don't know. I just think I don't know. Sorry, Nintendo. So that's the worst. I guess Zelda would be next.
Really?
Because I feel like it's highly overrated.
I don't disagree, but there are certain Zelda games that I really do enjoy, that I think are good titles, but I think there are some Zelda games that I feel like give it a little bit of time, and it's I wasn't the biggest fan of Breath of the Wild. I thought it was kind of an empty game with a lot of reuse.
I think here's my main problem with it's not that my hatred for these stuff isn't that I hate it. It's just very kid stuff. And I was a kid one time, and it was fine then. I enjoyed it then. I grew up. I went to other. There's nothing about just a slight nostalgia thing for the old Mario games. Super Mario Brothers, Super Mario Brothers 2. So I have a fondness for those as a kid, but like that nostalgia doesn't move into Super Mario World or Super. It just is like it's just okay. This is just cutesy again. I don't have a fondness for that. It doesn't magic. It just okay. We're doing the same shit. I mean, it looks different. It goes in a different direction. It has multiple directions. It's 3D now, but it's still me jumping on mushrooms, shooting fireballs, killing Bowser mostly. I know there's Wario and all that kind of shit, but it's like it's Can't you guys come up with a new property? Like. Pikmin, okay, but no. So Splatoon. I mean, whatever. But I mean, like
Splatoon is their newest property.
It is. It's new, but I don't really care about that. I played it for a little bit. It's fine. So then Zelda, I didn't really like those. I actually never really liked those OG Nintendo Zelda games. So I just never really got into that. So then that didn't, and then I never got a Super Nintendo. I went a different direction. I went Sega. I went a different direction. PC. Okay. So like I moved away from Zelda, and then everyone's playing these awesome Zelda games. And so when you come back to it years later, you're just like, what's the point of this? Like it just looks, it's a cartoon, and I don't. So I'm just like, I'm in that other place. Elder Scrolls, or I'm in another place that looks better to me. And so like then you hear people just like lauding Nintendo and the cartoonness of their, I don't give a shit. That's where I'm at. I'm like grumpy old man. It's like fuck Metroid. We did beat OG Metroid. I never played Super Metroid because I didn't have a Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
I've played a little bit of Metroid Prime. I have the trilogy. Or not the trilogy. And I like Metroid to a degree, but maybe Metroid, I don't know. Metroid Dread it wasn't something. Maybe I'm just not interested in playing 2D Metroid.
Yeah.
I really wanted to play Metroid Prime 4, but it feels like that's never going to come.
That's going to come at the end of the Switch's lifespan.
That's
going to be the Breath of the Wild. It's going to be Switch and whatever their new console is. It's going to be on both of those.
Like I didn't hate Breath of the Wild. I bought it for Wii U and I played through most of it. I think my problem with it is just it kind of tells the same fucking story. Again, he wakes up and he has to. It's just And then I just don't like the way the story's told through. And you have to. Can't Nintendo find like a better way to tell stories? Like, we're at a point in video games where storytelling is becoming a big deal. I feel like, or you can tell a story through gameplay, and not have to sit there listen to this wah 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 kind of shit, or have to read a shit ton of text, or it's just like, how are you guys being lauded for being such great game design company, and yet you're delivering these stories in such a fucking ancient manner? That's the kind of shit that just drives me nuts. Where like the new God of War, for instance, you're basically playing through the entire game, single camera, and the story is just kind of unfolding. I don't know. I feel like
I personally am not a big fan of the new God of War.
Oh, I think it's awesome.
That's for different reasons.
Well, you're wrong.
I have an issue with the gameplay.
Oh, I love the gameplay.
I think the gameplay switch from the last games to this game is.
Oh no, I prefer it because I hated the old God of War games. Those are awful games. Awful character. Awful character.
Okay, the character is different, right? And I think.
Well, I've played the first two. I beat the first two. Yes, I get why.
I think Kratos now as a character is better, but I think the gameplay of before was better.
It's different gameplay. They're not the same. They're not the same type of games. I can understand that, and I can understand thinking it was going to be one way when it wasn't. Yeah. Because it's those old games. I should have known when
it was named God of War. It was a reboot, right?
It's not really a reboot.
It's a new story plus a reboot, right? It's a rebranding. It's like, this is the first God of War. No. What a lot of people went into it.
It's where a lot of people went into it, but did you beat it?
No.
Did you make it to that point where it's like, oh shit?
No.
Oh. Have you had it spoiled for you?
No.
Oh. All that. You should probably play through it then, because like some of what you're talking about and some of the mechanics you're missing do come back.
I know the blades are a thing.
Yeah, so it plays like it when you get to that point.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think there's something with like the over the shoulder that I don't like.
I get it. But you're wrong. No, you're I get it. You like the classic God of War, the kind of more Devil May Cry.
I like Devil May Cry way more than
shit tons of combo. Like, mechanics. I want a million. He got 110 death kills combo. I get it. This, yes. I mean, God of War really is. That God of War is actually way more like Breath of the Wild, really. Shares more with Breath of the Wild than, really. But, I don't know where we were. Oh, Zelda. So I like Breath of the Wild. I just, I really like the puzzle stuff, and going into the shrines. I thought that was a lot of fun. I loved the beasts. Okay, so you have the beasts. You go in and you have to solve the dungeons.
Yeah.
You go in and you solve that. What I didn't like about that is that at the end of each one, you had to fight a fucking bullet sponge.
Yeah.
It was just like
I don't like the blights.
It's like why do we do this? I had a super hot, awesome time solving this massive thing, and then
those are the most unique puzzles I've seen in a Zelda game yet because it's very environmental. It's like the whole dungeon is built around this one mechanic of what it can do. And
exactly.
I thought that was so cool.
And then you fight this stupid thing at the end, and it's like I have to waste all my weapons and all my arrows, and it's just like, fuck this. I don't want to do this. So I just kind of got burnt out. I think I was on the third beast, and I was just like, I don't want to fight this guy. No. I just gave up. Because, I don't, whatever. I'm not the greatest video game player of all time, so.
No. I don't think I don't think any of us have said that we are the best of all time.
So, you die, and you just kind of like, oh, I don't want to do it.
Yeah, no, speaking of cutesy games and Nintendo stuff, I got another game that I played. It's a little more recent. It's not super old. It's not like your PS2 titles. But I got Shantae and the Seven Sirens for free. It was gifted to me by a friend.
Nice.
I'm a big fan of the Shantae series. I've played every single one except for this one.
Jared's a huge fan of that series.
I think this might be my second favorite Shantae game already. I'm not done with it, but I'm almost done.
That's a pretty fun platformer, right?
It's a platformer Metroidvania.
What do you like about it?
What do I like about it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so each Shantae game has a different gimmick.
Right.
So my favorite game in the series is Pirate's Curse, where Shantae loses her powers and she has to use pirate tools. And the way that her moveset works in that game is so fluid and it feels so nice that it just became my favorite game to just walk around, play, jump, shoot, whatever. This game changes the way transformations work because her main gimmick was that she could transform into different things after dancing. Like a monkey or an elephant or a spider.
Doing lewd dancing?
Yeah, she belly dances.
Very lewdly.
But this game changes that. There is no dancing into transformation.
Oh.
Transformation is a button. You press ZR, you get a dash. You press ZL in the air, and you do a ground pound as a giant turtle. You hold the attack button and release, and spin on the top of the turtle like a top. It changes. The dances are now environmental puzzle solvers.
Is this a new game or is
this is a new game? This was originally released on Apple Arcade back in like 2020,
okay. And
it was stuck there for a year until they released it on everything.
Gotcha. Is it included in the like huge collection of Shantae? There's like oh, okay.
I don't think so. I think that collection was before this one.
Okay.
But it's fantastic. I love how they took the movement options of what she was before, and instead of the clunky hold a button, wait, see the animation of the dance, transformation, now you can go, it's press the button, you're doing the thing.
Did you beat it?
I'm not done with it yet. I'm
okay.
like halfway done. I've got about half the power-ups, and it does... have you played Castlevania Symphony of the Night?
I have.
It has a system called the monster card system, where monsters that you kill have a chance to drop a trading card.
Okay.
And this trading card is something you can equip. You can have 3 trading cards equipped, and they change how she works. So if you equip, Crab, she crawls faster. Or if you equip certain other things. It's like this power up or this item moves faster, does more damage, or your basic attack does more damage. You know, it's like getting those the stat buffs and stuff like from Symphony of the Night when you like kill mobs.
Gotcha.
And I thought that was really interesting because you can have 3 equipped at any time.
So, second favorite of all time.
Second favorite
Currently.
in the series, yeah.
Currently.
In the series, yeah.
Could it be your number 1?
No, it's not Pirate's Curse.
Okay.
Unless they do something with the movement that is so fun. And like Pirate's Curse has been the fastest game in the series in terms of movement, fluidity, and like gameplay speed. I like fast games. I like games that make me think quickly and like that. And all the Shantae games after Pirate's Curse were really slow. And this one is just a little bit faster. And if it does a little bit more, I could see it beating it.
Gotcha. Cool. Shantae. I've never tried it. I've always thought about it, but are they for kids?
Okay.
Are they a little naughty and
both?
See, that's what I thought.
The whole concept was to make like a powerful woman as a character,
right,
sort of thing. But the whole game is it's like a kids TV show that has some slight adult jokes in it.
Gotcha.
It's like something that you could watch with your kids. But some of that humor hasn't been here. It's just the designs this time. Just because basically everything's a girl.
Gotcha.
Cool. And besides that, instead of having naughty humor, it's more like video game referential humor.
Gotcha.
Like there was this whole part in the water dungeon where it's like, hey, here's this hatch. Hatches are a tradition. They're used to move water.
Right.
Sort of thing. Stuff like that.
I mean, I picked it up once, but sometimes I feel like, oh, I should get that and try it, but I know in the back of my head I'm not gonna play that, so I just kind of like to be like, what did you get it on, Switch?
Switch. Yeah. No, it was given to me for free, so yeah, it was on Switch. My friend had a code and gave it to me.
And what's the other game? You have one more.
Unlimited Saga for the PS2. I've been playing through that again.
Again?
That game has 8 different stories. You have 8 different routes to play through.
That's 7 too many.
Well, each character is unique and does something different, and they all come with their different perspective and a different way of how to play.
Do you have the case with you there?
No, I'm emulating.
Oh, you're emulating.
Yeah. I don't have a PS2 on me, sadly. If I did, I would totally have it.
Oh. It's Unlimited Saga, right? That's what it's called?
Unlimited Saga, yeah.
I'm going to double check to make sure this is the game that I told you that I did not like. Yes, this is that game.
What? You didn't like it?
No, it's not that I didn't. I don't know. Maybe I just didn't understand how to play it. When I got this game, I feel like the tutorial does not really explain how. There's like no tutorial.
There isn't a tutorial.
So I had the hardest time figuring out how to fucking play the game.
It's got one of the deepest, most experimental RPG combat systems I have ever
So when
seen.
you first played it, that was just something you enjoyed cracking the code on?
Yeah.
Because, man, I got it.
I love experimental systems, and I love things with depth and something that you can explore. It's why I really like DMC. Outside of the flashiness of something like that, all the characters play extremely deeply, especially in the latest title, which has so much to it.
So I rented it when it was brand new from Blockbuster, and I took it home to try it. And I don't know why I thought I would try it, because I don't know.
RPG? Were you into RPGs back in 2003?
Not turn-based RPGs. I was just like, I was bored. I don't know what I was like summertime, and I had time off. I just thought I play everything. I had that thing on Blockbuster where you would just rent a game, and if you didn't like it, you just go back and get another one. You just keep doing that shit. Yeah. So I was going, I played PS2 is like my most prolific. Anyway, I played a lot of shit. So I grabbed it and I took it home, and I was like, just sitting there trying to figure I just was so what I had no idea. It was just beating my head against a fucking wall, and I was just like, I just remember being like, "This is fuck this," and I just took it right back and got something stupid like, well, not stupid, but probably like I don't know. Who knows what I was playing then? Else, I just specifically remember that game just being a dick.
It's very experimental. If it doesn't stick with you, it's not gonna stick with you. Because it's
stick
the
with me.
only game
It never came to me to stick on. Like
No.
I was just like, what am I supposed to be doing here? I mean, I understood that like I was supposed to kind of move and then battle and then I just now what?
The way you play the game depends on the character you pick.
I guess.
Because, for example, Ventus, he gets the exclusive mechanic of taking on carrier jobs. So he's kind of, and carrier jobs are just like you go from one place to another, deliver something, you get cash. He's one of the easiest characters to learn and pick up in the game because he's sort of made to have an easy to get cash flow.
Gotcha.
So you can always get items, get healing items, rested ends. You're always going to be refreshed playing Ventus. The one thing about Ventus is he's weak.
Of course.
He's thin because he's like an 18-year-old. And
it's like he's Quentin basically.
Yeah, he's me. But
so like, how many of the characters have you played through?
I've played through 3.
All right. So someday you'll have them all, huh? That's the goal?
Play through 5, yeah.
How long is the game? I imagine it's fucking long.
Depends on how long you want to play through like side stuff and like actually grind.
Right.
I think the roulette system and the way battle works is like this weird little mix of gambling and risk and reward. Because you've played the game, you everything rouletted. It was a roulette,
right? And I just didn't understand how that.
So everything has.
I just always felt like I was getting fucked. I don't know. I always felt.
Everything has priority.
But I barely remember monsters. I barely remember it. That was so long ago. Also.
You can queue up to 5 moves every turn from each character in your party, or you could do all 5 on one, 3 with one character, 2 with another. And one of the most unique things about the system is you can hold a command, which is, let's say I have punch, punch, kick, right? I can hold this punch, and now I have punch held, and now it goes to either punch or kick. I can choose these commands, and I can hold this. But if the monster has a command that's faster, it can quit my holding. I will punch, punch, and then it will attack me. So it's a very like, what does this thing do? How much can I hold? And different commands of holding do different combos.
Gotcha. And, maybe I just didn't understand graphically how that was portrayed in the game. I don't know. I just had a very hard time figuring out what was being represented to me at the time.
Yeah,
that's all I remember, really.
It's a very confusing game for I would assume anyone who like opens this game.
Like the UI was just very hard for me to like figure out. I think
it's not straightforward, but when you learn it, I feel like it becomes one of the most. It's one of the most successful experimental RPG systems that I've seen for a long time, and I really like that.
Has there been a game that's ever kind of borrowed from it?
No.
No.
There are games that do try experimental combat and gameplay systems.
Right.
Like if I wanted to name one out of recent memory, there's Undertale, which combines your normal RPG combat with bullet hells. So.
Right.
You know, Saga games are known to be very non-linear in nature because each one is like, oh, hey, there's like 6 or 7 characters, sometimes 8.
Gotcha.
You've got 6 to 7 different stories to play through, and they can all end in weird ways. Have fun. Go play the game. They're the type of RPG. It's like give you a character, they throw you in there, and they go, okay, have fun.
Gotcha.
Find out by yourself.
Well.
Or use a guide and a wiki.
So how much? So you're playing Dread, Shantae, and Unlimited Saga.
Mm-hmm.
The betas will end probably
So the betas end
tomorrow.
Mhm.
Or tonight at midnight.
I thought it was PST 20 at like 6 a.m.
Gotcha.
So 6 a.m. tonight.
Are you gonna play that until they die, or you're done with them?
I know what KOF 15 is going to be
So you're
because I
done.
played it.
So you're done.
I know what it's going to be because I've played every single KOF game. I know what it's going to be. I'm excited for it.
So you're done.
I have gotten my fill of DNF Duel. I know what it is, and I know how it's going to play, and I'm excited for its release. I know the netcode works, and I'm excited because it works well.
So of the 3 games, which ones are you like? Of the 3, then which one are you hankering to beat?
I was trying to see if I could beat Dread before the podcast started,
Oh.
but it's such a fucking long game. It's longer than I thought it would. When I put it down the other night, I was like, okay, maybe I should look it up and see how much more I've got. I only beat the 3rd boss. And there's like 9 of them.
Yeah. See, I don't have the patience for that.
So I went, okay. Let's see how Shantae is.
Shantaes are kind of short games, though, right? Kind of.
I don't see you taking more than like 10 hours to beat the entire game.
Right.
And Shantae is one of those games where, specifically this one, it has a bunch of modes. So if you want to play it with different randomized things, like harder monsters or starting with like those trading cards I mentioned, you can do that. Those are modes.
Cool. I didn't really have anything else. Dave and I played some Rocket League last night, and I did have one comment. Rocket League guys, I know you guys developers are listening to this. I do not understand why a ranked system would allow one team to be at 30 ping and another team to be at like 150 ping.
Wait, it did that to you?
Why is that fair? Like why? Like if you're in a ranked match, like I get it, ranked, probably not the main reason. The main reason you make that game is for fun. It's totally cool. But if you're gonna have ranked, why isn't there something that says if they're not somewhat close in ping, why put them together? Because it just sucks when you're like kicking ass and then you get stuck against a team and then you're like on an opposite end server and you're just like, I'm like 20 cars behind this guy. And it's like, I know they're not playing that well. And it just sucks that I can't get to the ball quick enough, or that I got to the ball quick enough, but I didn't hit it because I'm not really there.
Yeah.
And it's just like, why does that shit happen? Why is that something?
Happens in MOBAs too.
No, it happens in first-person shooters, you know. But it's like you would think in ranked that when they match make you, there should be a ping matching. Like they should. I don't know. There's so many people playing Rocket League. Don't put me with that team. Put me with someone I match with. Like literally, it's called matchmaking. I get it. It's ranked, but ranked usually just means not playing against the same person you just played against that's also playing ranked. That's all that.
And playing against someone who's like somewhat your skill.
Yeah.
I want to play a little bit seriously, but I want good connection.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel that's how I lose. You get up to silver and then you get in this fucking place and then you get like 2 shit ping match rank and it's like I'm back down into bronze again not because of my skill, just because it sucks.
The ping, yeah.
It's like I gotta
Maybe
like
they should institute some rollback.
Yeah,
Maybe they should follow the fighting games.
It's awful. Anyway, I don't know. Me and Dave just were really getting into it. As like we were like there were some games we were just like rocking, and then we'd get these, and I was just like, this is infuriating. Anyway, who cares?
Well, it's no. I care. Connection, multiplayer video games really matter. Like, I don't think there's a worse feeling than aiming down a sniper, shooting some guy in the head,
and then not getting
and seeing that the bullet was like 3 feet away from them.
Right, or he somehow shot you first.
Or he moved without you knowing.
Right.
Like his model's still there, but like in his
he's
game,
gone. He's not even
here.
there.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the worst shit, man. But I just feel like, there's another thing. Like in a multiplayer game, like in a shooter where there's like a whole bunch of people, I can kind of understand that it's harder to match a whole bunch of people. But it's literally a 2v2. You're telling me in the 60,000 people, this is the only other two-person squad you can matchmake us with? It's like, fuck you. Anyway.
Yeah, no, that would piss me off too. I feel your pain.
Anyhow. I think that's it for games. Co-optionals. You got something exciting?
I know you're not a big fan of anime, but
Huge fan. I'm a huge fan.
You're a huge fan?
I love that live action Cowboy Bebop. I'm just kidding. I haven't watched it. I just wanted to say it because I think it looks kind of cool. I don't know anything about Cowboy Bebop. So here's the thing. I might watch it and might actually really like it. But
you might like the live action, and I'm not going to hold that against you, but I think the live action sucks.
That's cool. It's not an anime either. It's a live action TV show.
Yeah, it's a live action. It's a bad by a live action TV show standard. I didn't like it like that.
All right. Anyway, I don't want to get into that because I haven't seen it. What have you been watching, anime boy?
I have been catching up on Bleach since the other day. At Jump Festa, it was announced that the final arc of the entire story is finally going to get animated after the game. After the anime got canceled in 2012.
You mean the manga?
So, no, the manga did not get canceled. The manga actually finished.
Oh, there you go.
But the anime stopped before the manga finished. So there was one whole entire arc that it didn't get to cover.
I see.
So I am now watching through 366 episodes again.
Ugh.
Get myself caught up before October.
Why kill yourself like that?
It's a good show. I like Bleach.
Okay, which one is Bleach is? I don't know which one Bleach is.
Orange-haired guy, big sword.
He has a sword?
Yeah.
Does he fight bad guys with it?
He fights like demons.
Demons. Why is it called Bleach?
Why is it called Bleach? I actually don't know.
That's good. All right. 336 episodes and couldn't figure that one out.
Well, it's about the afterlife and spiritual stuff. It's a crazy show.
What's it actually called? In Japan?
Bleach.
Oh, it's still
It's called Bleach. It's called Bleach.
But does Bleach have a different meaning over there, or is it actually Bleach, as we know Bleach?
It's just Bleach.
Okay.
It's just Bleach.
Interesting.
As in just
Is he
yeah.
Maybe he's purifying the world, cleansing it.
You know what? That's probably exactly it. That's That's probably exactly it. Ichigo kills Hollows, and Hollow
I don't know.
really bad, and the manifestation of things bad.
He's Bleach in human form.
Yes.
All right, that's cool. So you're recommending that people catch up because it's coming.
Catch up because
it's coming.
The final arc just got announced yesterday that it is coming to animation October 2020.
Okay, well there you go. Oh, you anime
watch it on
fans.
Netflix.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I am going to recommend Witcher Season 2.
Ooh.
It just came out
Things.
Yesterday or the day before. Yeah, Friday. It came out Friday. I'm a big fan of the third game.
Mm-hmm.
I've never read the books. The TV show is technically based off the books, not the game. But the game's based off the books as well. So you have this interesting things that are different, but I wonder if that's different because of the book or they made a artistic change.
Yeah.
But no, it's great. I love the first season. The second season's even better. The second season's easier to follow. I don't know how much you know about the first season, if anything.
I haven't watched the first season.
Okay.
So I've been interested in I've been wanting to watch it.
I won't spoil anything, but the first season does do this thing. They kind of do different time, like they tell the story in a kind of a non-linear way to get a lot of information into you. So it's kind of hard.
Building.
It kind of to world build. So it kind of it can be hard to follow at first. I was kind of lost at times, but for the most part, it's pretty easy to follow. But some people really complain about it. So if you do go into it, just kind of know that some things are happening at different periods of time. But no, man, I think it's really well done and well acted, and it's funny, and yeah, I don't know. It's not like on the grandest scale as like Game of Thrones, but it's way more endearing and fun to watch. Game of Thrones was just a fucking
Game of Thrones sort of devolved.
Yeah, it kind of just got like, I'm tired of this. Can we stop playing chess?
I also think Geralt is just like a interesting character in general.
Totally.
Like I've explained it to some people, like, and at least in terms of the games, it's a man who doesn't want to make choices that is forced to make choices, and I love that.
So super cool. Really enjoyed it. Excited to see where the next season takes us.
Is there going to be next season?
Oh, I'm 100% sure. I mean, it's got to be. We're not canceling this one. Anyway,
so CD Projekt's Red's name is not on this, right?
As far as I know, no, because it's not based off the game, and there's so it's no, it's just it's its own thing. I mean, Henry Cavill, who plays Geralt, he's a big gamer, and he played Witcher. He's a big Witcher of the video game fan. So I mean, obviously they can't get away from the video game, but yeah, it doesn't really have anything to do with CG Projekt Red. It has nothing to do with it.
Yeah, I mainly ask because Cyberpunk's getting a show, so.
It's possible that Mass Effect might be getting a show.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so. Which that could be actually pretty cool. Cyberpunk, I don't know. That's kind of not really necessary.
Well, it's an anime. It's an anime side
that,
story that takes place in Night City.
Well, that makes sense. But I mean, actually, Commander Shepard, that could be interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know. Did you play all those games?
No.
Oh, well then you have no idea.
No, I've just seen like the memes and the jokes. I know Mass Effect through cultural osmosis, and that the third game had a bad ending.
It wasn't that bad. Gamers are awful people. I mean, I played through it so fast so I could get to that ending before the update came. So I played it through multiple times, and I didn't mind. I thought I don't know what they wanted. That's so fucking stupid. I don't know. Gamers are stupid.
I feel like a really bad ending kind of.
I don't think it was a bad ending though.
And like in terms of just like maybe like not what players wanted is a really interesting thing.
Yeah,
that's like a bad end, like a bad end in terms of universe, not a bad end in terms of like it's badly written.
Yeah, I think it was perfectly fine. I was totally content and happy with it. It's like that makes sense to me as a storyteller, but like these fucking we know better video gamers, it's just like, and I felt like really bad that BioWare changed it and did all that. Like that shouldn't have happened, in my opinion.
Is the new ending better, or is it just different?
It's just different. It just kind of caters to what they want, and it's like, nah.
Is there no option of getting that other ending?
No, you can't.
Wow.
Well, I think you can play it. I don't know. I'd have to like see if you could play it and offline because I have it on disc. So when it installs, if I didn't, I don't know if it forces you to update it or not. I'd have to see if I could play through it. I don't remember. I mean, yeah, that was so long ago. I imagine only the new endings in the
remaster.
The remaster thing that they released. But no, man. I mean, really, at the end of the day, you only need to play Mass Effect 2. That game is like so fucking good. Holy shit. Anyway.
They've been on my list. I'll get to them one day.
One day. All right. Yeah. There we are at an hour and 20 minutes.
Wow.
Look at
Long
that.
one.
A long one. I'm gonna call this one like DNF KOF.
DNF KOF.
DNF KOF Super Soldiers or something. I don't know. Close beta test.
Wi-Fi Warriors.
Wi-Fi Warriors. All right. Unlimited Saga sucks. No.
No.
I'm not gonna call it that.
You better not.
What is it? DNF Duel?
DNF Duel.
That's what it's called.
DNF Duel.
Yes.
Which is based on DFO.
DFO.
Which is now part of a expanded brand called Dungeon and Fighters.
You know, I did notice that it was Nexon was the publisher of that.
Nexon is the publisher of their English stuff and was originally the publisher for DFO until Neopol went, no, you are not touching our MMO anymore. We are releasing it solo.
Yeah, I did see that, and I was like, oh, I'm sure Quentin has something to say about that.
Hey, listen, as long as it's still a Neopol game at the end of the day, it's fine. It's not a free-to-play game. Nexon can't screw it up completely.
Yeah. Cool. Well, let's get out of here. Well, thanks, Quentin, for being on the couch today.
Anytime.
And I want to thank everyone for listening. Remind you can find us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Couch Co-op Shows. All one word, no hyphen. Leave feedback. Let us know what you think. Tell me that I'm wrong about Nintendo games, because that's what everyone does.
Tell me that I'm wrong about Unlimited Saga.
You're probably right about it. Maybe, you know what? I should you should throw it out a challenge, and I should like try and find it on PS2 and go at it. That's what I should do. I should go at it. I should try and figure it out. Maybe I'll try and figure that out. I'll put it on I'll put it on my PS2 list. My retro shopping list. Anyway, for another time. Remember to please subscribe, share, leave us feedback on iTunes. You can go to Spotify, you can go to Google, you can go to Amazon, find us, listen to us, share us with your friends. Just make sure you stick us in your ear holes. I want to, again, thank Quentin for joining me here on the couch. For Couch Co-op, I'm Ian, reminding you to please be excellent to each other.
Couch Co-op. Couch Co-op.